Hey Caitlin, it's Coach Chris. I'm just going to go over this video with you of one of your swings that we recorded, I think on November 8th. And I will send you a link to this video once we've gone over it, and then also an Excel file with the metrics that we took. Don't go too crazy over the metrics. There's some things that we can work on with it, but overall things look pretty good from a metric standpoint for you. And there's a few things in your swing here that I think we can work on specific to the sequencing of your swing and separation as you sequence that I think are going to help. And I know with going to Coach Leah to hit, she talked about the angle of your bat at contact. So I'll show you roughly what she means here. It's tough to from this angle. It's easier from a either behind or in front of angle, but we'll go over that a little bit so you have a sense of what we're talking about. And we'll also talk about attack angle, which is definitely something that you could work on. So here we go. Follow along, and once you get the video, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. So we're going to move it along a little bit. Now, one of the things I see, and I want you to pay particular attention to your hands. Just put a little circle on them there, and take a look at the different levels that your hands go to before you start your swing. And I think what you'll see is there's going to be some significant changes. So already, they've changed their positioning and gone up. And then as we start to go back, now you're fully loaded there, and sorry it cuts off, but you get the idea. They're way back here and down. And then as the swing starts to go, or your stride goes, now they've stayed roughly in this position, and down they go a little bit, and everything looks pretty good there. And this is one of your better swings from a metric standpoint. But you notice that they start way up here and they end up way down here. And I think that transition from up there to down here is going to lend to some inconsistencies in your swing. So one of the things I think we're going to do with you is we're going to start your hands preload a little bit lower so that they're not having to travel as far to get to that loaded position. I have no problem with where you're loading them to. It's just that the difference from up here to down here that you're getting to. So a little change I think we're going to work on there. Now let's get you to where your swing should start, and we'll talk about what I mean by separation. So right here, you're pretty much fully loaded, and we're getting ready to go attack the ball. So the next phase of the swing we talk about from loaded is the launch position. And launch is where that heel comes down, and right about there, I'd say your heel's down. Now this position, your lower half should be fully separated from your upper half. And what's happening for you is your front half, in other words, your hands and arms, are starting to come forward already. And what should happen first when that heel comes down is the hips should come. So your hands at this point should still be traveling back this direction. Yours are coming forward too early. And that's the sequencing of the swing we're talking about. So what should happen is the heel should come down, then your hip starts to go, then your elbows, then your hands, and finally the bat follows. And I think this creates a bit of inconsistency too in your swing. And if we can get that sequencing started better, your power numbers are going to go through the roof. A couple other things we'll talk about with respect to power too. But so we want to see at this point, as the heel's coming down, your hands are still traveling backwards at this point. So separation drills are what we're going to work on with you, as well as some sequencing stuff. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. So now we're going to go, so again, your heel's down here, right? And your hands have already started coming forward. Your front shoulder's in a great position. It's still nice and closed. A lot of your teammates, their front shoulders already started to fly open at this point, which is good. So everything's staying in, your hands got a nice hand path, your elbows slotted, everything's looking good. Now we'll fast forward here to right about contact. And Coach Leah talked about the barrel of your bat pointing down at this point. And that's what we call vertical bat angle. And yours is actually pretty good here. While you can't see it, yours is at negative 30 degrees, which is optimum. That's exactly what we're looking for. So if you were looking from the catcher behind and looking at a horizontal line, your barrel should be about 30 degrees below that horizontal line, and yours is pretty consistently, as you'll see in the metrics. So already you've made that adjustment work well. Now, attack angle is the other thing that I said I'd talk about. Basically what attack angle is we want that swing to come so that when we get contact with the ball, we're started that upswing part. And basically what we're looking for in the attack angle metrics is a number that's positive, so between 1 and 14 roughly. You've got a lot that are right around 1, and in this particular swing, it's 6 degrees, which is not bad. I think we can do a little bit better, and basically the reason we want a positive number and a upward swing is so that we can launch the ball up into the air and get it past the infielders. So all in all, not bad here. You do lock out that front leg a little bit early, but we'll work on some drills to keep this attack angle a little more consistent. And one of the things we'll do is how we position the ball on the tee. You'll want to set this horseshoe up so that the bottom seam is your target, so that you're aiming, roughly here on the ball and trying to put it up into the screen. And then the last thing I'm going to talk about with you is finishing the swing. You'll notice that you are now done right here, and then you just stop. Like your barrel of your bat should actually be coming out in this area, and we should see more of your back towards the catcher. So a couple of things we'll work on drill wise for that, but all in all, things are looking good. And I think the one thing that Coach Lee has done with respect to where your barrel goes is good. The other thing to back up to this attack angle thing is when your numbers are so close to 0, that's why a lot of the balls get chopped into the ground. And part of that comes from doing some slapping, because that's the typical slap swing, is to swing down on the ball. We want to swing up on the ball on this team. So all in all, good. Any questions once you get everything, let me know and we can talk about it.